Interesting. Well, and I think that, us as human beings, obviously there's a herd mentality, and so what everybody else is doing, and it's not just with individuals, but I'm sure it's in the tax advising business as well, because it seems like it's common rhetoric with the CPA or individuals that are in that profession to obviously use the contribution to the 401k or the IRA as one of the best deductions you can have.
Absolutely, and again, to me, it's just a lack of education. If people aren't doing, I look at people and they go and they think that 10% is a good return on their investment, for example. I'm going, well, that's just a lack of education. If you're not getting 30 to 40% return on your investment, then you just need more education. If you're paying high taxes and paying high tax rates, that's a matter of a lack of education. And it's a lack of education not only on your part, but also on the part of your advisor. Most advisors don't have the education that this kind of education to understand how the tax law really works. Remember that CPAs tend to be very linear, thinkers. They're kind of left-brainers, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Whereas the tax law is a very right-brained document. It was written by lawyers and politicians, not by accountants, and so it's very difficult for your typical accountant to look at the tax law and understand that it's nonlinear. And you've got to take that nonlinear thought process. You've got to take that creative thought process to the tax law if you're going to seriously reduce your taxes. And creative does not mean risky. Creative means understand the law and apply it in actually a less risky manner because you understand what you're doing.
That's a great point. Are there maybe any books that you would recommend off the top of your head that are maybe more modern, maybe have to do a lot with any recent changes that have occurred in the tax code that you think our listeners would benefit from?
If you want all the details, Ernst & Young puts out an annual tax book that's great. If you want all those details, I'm not sure why you would want it. Now my book should be coming out in May or June this year, and my book will explain how the tax law works. How the tax law really works. It will not get into the details. It's a book for everybody that you can understand how the tax law works. We also have courses that we provide to the general public, and if people go to provisionwealth.com/products, then they can find our courses. And it's a School of Tax Strategy, and we have over 40 different courses on different topics on taxes, and every one of them is talking about how to reduce your taxes, using this vehicle or this idea, whether it's travel, meals, and entertainment, home office deduction, using your children and their tax brackets to get benefits, entity setup, whatever it is. Chances are you go to provisionwealth.com/products and you'll find it.
Yep, and we'll put that on the blog post as well, so listeners have access to that link. Are you able to pre-order your book on there as well, or is that not available yet?
Not available yet. Okay. Not available yet, but soon.
Well, once it is, we'll be in touch so we can get that on the blog as well. Right. Well, maybe as we wrap up here, Tom, maybe why don't you give maybe some of our X and Y generationalists some advice about being entrepreneurs and those that are getting into real estate, getting into business ownership. What are maybe some things that you would recommend to them?
Well, first of all, I just tell everybody, you know what? This is the most fun you can ever have. Being an entrepreneur, there's just nothing more fun. Nobody tells you what to do. You get to decide what you're going to do, how you're going to spend your time, and how you're going to make money. And so, that's what I like about it. I'm the youngest of 6 children. I don't like people telling me what to do. And that's the great thing about being an entrepreneur. The other thing I would say is that, there are a couple of skills you must learn. You have to learn sales and marketing if you're going to be an entrepreneur. And the other thing, and lastly, but certainly not least, most entrepreneurs who get in trouble because they have not spent the time learning how to run a business. They've not spent the time learning how to be an entrepreneur. I'm actually working on a course for Rich Dad that will be a 3-year course to learn how to be an entrepreneur, and we're going to introduce it to college campuses as well as the general public. So, being an entrepreneur, there's absolutely nothing more fun. nothing more exciting to do, and just make sure you get educated before you start putting your life savings into it.
Yeah, nothing more challenging either. And right now, I think there is a really big challenge out there to solve a lot of the problems and inefficiencies that we're experiencing as a country. But that's what we as human beings do. Every modern technology that we have solves an inefficiency or a problem. So
exactly, and I just leave with this, and that's that. If there's a way out of the current mess we're in, and there's no question we're in a mess. I mean, we've got inflation running amok. We've got a currency that's not tied to gold. We've got a Federal Reserve that thinks that $800 billion is a drop in the bucket, and they can just keep pouring in the money into the economy, and there will be no adverse consequences. But the only true way out of a mess like this is production.
Yep.
And it's increasing production, and it's superly increasing production. And only entrepreneurs are going to, as you said right at the beginning, Patrick, it's the entrepreneurs who are going to do that. Yep. And the worst thing in the world would be the government to stymie entrepreneurship. That would absolutely put this country into a tailspin with countries like Greece and Ireland.
Yeah, I mean, and it's scary to think about what those consequences would be and how extreme they could be, because obviously we're not.
Check out Egypt right now.
Yeah, and that's the scope. The scope, as far as Greece and other European countries, and even with past countries like Zimbabwe or Argentina. I mean, you have a lot of things that have occurred with just small countries. Obviously, the scope of issues in the United States is going to be catastrophic, and so. But yeah, that's I think as human beings, we're problem solvers. That's what we do on a daily basis, and I think that the up and coming generations. They have a lot of stuff on their shoulders, but I think that the task is worthy of them, and I think that we'll prevail. So,
and the opportunities are endless. I mean, people, you can either be scared or you can just grab the bull by the horns and just go for it.
Go for it.
And I prefer to look at the positive side of life. I mean, to me, we're in the best opportunity that we'll ever be in. And remember that whenever there are losers, there are winners. You just have to choose to be the winner.
No, I mean that's what adversity drives. I mean, adversity drives comebacks. It drives growth. It drives learning very valuable lessons. And I think that's what we're going through right now. But I think we'll make out just fine. So, well, Tom, it was good to have you on. I really appreciate your time. I know it's extremely valuable. For those who would like to learn more about Tom and his company, ProVision Wealth, we'll have links on our blog that will lead you to his different courses, books, and so forth. Again, for those of you who are listening for the first time, go back and listen to our podcast. We have about 4 years, and there's a lot of really good information on there. You can access that at www.paradigmlife.net. That's all for this month. We'll talk to you next time.